What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. This is the channel where we sit down and cover different comic book stories from different comic book companies. Today, we're going to jump back over to Marvel Comics and continue our coverage over the Ultimate Marvel Universe. Today, we're going to pick up with Nick Spencer's Ultimate X-Men Volume 2. And this is where the revolution begins in the Ultimate Marvel Universe when it comes to the mutant race. It all starts in this volume right here, but also this is Nick Spencer's last story in the Ultimate Marvel Universe for now. So, if you do like today's comic book video, please hit that like button down below and also subscribe to the channel for more content to come in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books I should read, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But I do hope you enjoy today's video. So with the opening chapter of this book, we'll be following Quicksilver for a moment, because it is Nick Spencer building off the idea that Quicksilver has been plotting something big, because he's working with his sister, the Scarlet Witch. We saw all of that in Ultimate Fallout. But in the first few pages, it is more of us seeing that he actually had a hand in the creation of the Nimrods, that he had actually given over the materials to help make the Nimrod robots be almost unbeatable. This builds on the question of what Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are planning. They are basically helping mankind kill off the mutant race. Because we saw in the last Ultimate X-Men video, the Nimrods were already hunting down the mutant race. But we also saw at the tail end of that video, William Stryker Jr. was a mutant who can communicate with technology. When he died, his conscience was transported into the Nimrod system. And since he believes in killing mutants, not capturing them and putting them in camps like the original program of the Nimrods followed, you now have the Nimrod robots going around killing off the mutant race at a faster rate. This is where Nick Spencer changes it up a little by explaining that with Quicksilver helping the creation of Nimrod and also the idea of him selling mutants for profit, it wasn't to help kill off the mutant race. Instead, it was to make the mutant race look at him as a king of sort, a leader. So he runs back to his sister, the Scarlet Witch, because we learn that she did not die in Ultimates 3 like where we thought she did, and apparently it was her plan. Well, really, she was following orders from God. She started to sound like Rogue did in our last video, that God has been talking to her as well. Now Quicksilver does get upset because to him, the fact his sister is telling him that God told her to follow these plans is crazy. He actually tries to fight her, but of course he is no match for his sister, but she tells him it is still his fault. We learn that she told him that he had to go to Egypt, and she told him when they last met. He never did, and he disobeyed orders, and for him doing that, the mutant's death are the results for not following orders. So she tells him that he needs to go to Egypt and visit a certain someone that he actually does not want to meet. Scarlet Witch tells him that he must go and beg for forgiveness. So he does go to Egypt like he was instructed, but before we can see who is the mysterious person behind all of this God, we see Quicksilver kind of open up how he feels about being at fault for the death of many mutants. He's tired of being looked at by people as a failure, also feeling like a failure, because over and over again, he has failed his father, the Ultimates, and his sister. This person tells Quicksilver that he is not mad at him for not following orders, that he wanted to give Quicksilver is more fatherly love. it is revealed that the person who is this God, or the person behind all of this, is no other than Magneto himself, stating that he is also alive like Quicksilver and Charles Xavier. And the question is, how is that even possible? This leads into us picking up with the second chapter. Kind of like the first chapter, it's another one-shot following a certain character. But this one starts off reviewing what is going on in the other Ultimate books if you were not reading the Ultimates or the Ultimate Hawkeye books, where it was established that a country known as Seer had a plan to spread an airborne virus to get rid of the mutant race, establishing that with the mutant race mostly being in the United States, they could become weapons for the United States. So the virus was made to get rid of mutants, but then they made a serum that would turn regular humans into metahumans. They were going to make the metahumans work for them. It would have made Seer the most powerful country in the world, except the metahumans actually used their powers to overrun Seer and, well, got rid of Seer and replaced it with a new country called Tien. There are two cities in the sky that are being run by the Zorn brothers, who we last saw in our last Ultimates video. But we did pick up with Valerie Cooper, and we see her meeting up with Nick Fury. Valerie Cooper being the person on the president's staff who handles superhuman and mutant problems. The reason why she is here because she kind of wants an update on the Ultimate situation with them dealing with Tien. Of course, this part takes place before Ultimates Volume 2 because Tien had gone through some things. But the reason why it is being brought up is because, remember, in Ultimate Hawkeye, Nick Fury team of mutants were working with Hawkeye on getting a sample of the serum that turns humans into metahumans. It was Karen Grant, aka Jean Grey, Liz Allen, aka Firestar, and the Guardian. The thing is that they all decided to stay over there because they were welcome to stay by one of the Zorn brothers. The point of this section is more pointing out that Valerie Cooper knows that Karen Grant is Jean Grey, and no one was supposed to know that. Before we can explore the idea of Valerie Cooper knowing about Jean Grey, we shift our focus actually on the Ultimate X team as they're on a rescue mission. We see a group of kid traffickers who are trafficking kids. So the Zorn brothers has sent the Ultimate X team to stop them and save the children. So we do get a couple of pages of them being superheroes and actually stopping the child traffickers and saving the children, where we see them taking the children back to the country Tien, a small section that was full of action. Getting back to Valerie Cooper and Nick Fury conversation over Karen Grant being Jean Grey, we don't get the chance to find out how she knows that piece of information, but it is the main reason why she is here talking to Nick Fury, because she knows that the Ultimate X team stayed with the Zorn brothers. To her, it seems like Nick Fury just handed over the most powerful weapon, referring to Jean Grey, over to a very powerful threat. But then you have Nick Fury basically show Valerie that she should never doubt him, because he then calls in Karen Grant. To Valerie, she should not be there. And this is where Jean Grey reveals that she is so powerful, she is making the whole world believe that she's over there, even making the Zorn brothers think that she's over there with them. Except in reality, she's still back at the S.H.I.E.L.D. base. Firestar and Guardian even thinks that she's over there with them. Now Valerie Cooper leaves, but right after she leaves, Nick Fury asks Karen Grant to erase her memory of Karen Grant being there. Nick Spencer throws another plot twist at us, because we then jump over to Tien, where we see Karen Grant, aka Jean Grey, arriving back at Tien to talk to one of the Zorn brothers, where we find out that the Zorn brothers actually have made Karen Grant switch sides, where in reality, Nick Fury thinks that his mental defenses protects him from Karen Grant, aka Jean Grey powers, except they don't, and he thinks she is still on his side, but no, she's on the Zorn brothers' side. She is making Nick Fury think she is over at S.H.I.E.L.D. base, but the big twist is when you have Zorn ask Karen Grant to reveal her real self, meaning that he knows that she is Jean Grey, and the question is, how did he find this out? Now we finally focus on Storm and Colossus, because remember that after Ultimatum, these two were thrown into a camp, except one of them is being tortured, and that is Colossus. The reason why he is being tortured is because some organization wants to know about something that he apparently knows, even though he mentions that he has no idea what they are talking about. But of course, they continue to torture him until he tells them what they want to hear. But while Colossus is being tortured in the basement level, we see him being watched by a group of guards and their leader, John Walker. This is our first appearance of John Walker, and it will be short-lived. But he is second in charge of the camp and works under Colonel Lake, which he does walk in and pulls John Walker to the side to have a conversation. Now, John Walker is kind of on the borderline on liking or disliking mutants, but you have Colonel Lake point out that the camps is an attempt to work for a goal to find a way to have mutants and humans coexist. Camps also were made to protect humans and mutants from each other. He knows this plan of the camps is not enough to reach that goal. Also, he is hoping to show John Walker that mutants need humans on their side to reach that goal. This is where we learn that Colonel Lake has been working alongside with Aurora, aka Storm. You have Storm point out that she is happy to help Colonel Lake, but as a way to help build that bond between humans and mutants. She does point out that there is a problem, and that problem is Stacy X, a young mutant who lost a friend recently because some guards here at Camp Angel said her friend killed 2 of their friends, and so they shot him 60 times. With that statement, she believes the justice they thought they were delivering is morally wrong. Storm believes there could be a civil war in the camp, but she also asks if Colonel Lake is close to freeing Colossus, where he states he is trying to get Colossus out of the torturing part of this camp. Of course, this leads into a situation where you have Colonel Lake and John Walker trying to continue their conversation only to be stopped by another guard. That guard tells him that something is being played on the TV, and Lake wants all the TVs turned off. Except it is too late because Storm and everyone else in the camp saw the broadcast where Valerie Cooper told the world that mutants were not the next step in evolution, except in reality they were man-created. And this is big because mutants are being hunted by humans, but humans made them. They're all getting killed across the nation by the people that made them. And this upsets Storm completely. So the next moment you have Colonel Lake trying to play crowd control and speak on the behalf of his people, trying to keep the mutant race calm before they try to start a war in the camp. To him, that piece of information is out there, it should not change anything. That humans and mutants can work together in this world. Except while he was giving his speech, Storm cut her hair down, got a new outfit, and then she called down lightning bolts yelling, "No more lies," beginning a civil war in the camp. The first half of chapter 4 is more showing us the fall of Camp Angel, where we see the mutants who were trapped inside the camp breaking everyone out. With them doing that, we see them learn that at the surface of the camp, things seem normal. Underneath the camp though, things were not. Mutants were being tortured and beaten down on. some kept in containers as well. They even found some dead bodies of mutants who were being used as test subjects. That Camp Angel wasn't so keen on the idea of mutants and humans living together, that in reality they were trying to find how mutants work. You have Storm go and free her old friend Colossus as well. So now he is free, but things are still about to get more interesting. After that, you have Storm watching over Colossus as he is finally able to get a full night of sleep. Except that is when she sees mutants running in a hallway and wondering what's going on. That is when she finds out that Stacy X is planning to kill the guards, John Walker and Colonel Lake as well, as a way for justice for what they have learned about the race of mutants and what the camp has been doing to mutants. Except you have Storm come in and tell everyone to stop. This leads into an argument between Stacy X and Storm, where Stacy X believes that Charles Xavier was wrong. Humans and mutants can't live together and they should go ahead and kill off the guards. Except you have Storm remind the mutants that Charles Xavier was not killed by humans, except he was killed by a mutant. Of course, talking about Magneto. So she goes with the idea that they should take a vote on what they should do with the guards. Kill them off or let them live. Again, Nick Spencer, man, this dude knows how to write a story, because after the vote we learn there is a tie between the two sides. So Storm wonders if she can talk to the ones who voted against her and changed their mind. But then Colossus walks out, and to Storm, she thinks he is going to vote with her and saving the lives of the guards. He was an X-Men with her, and they lived together, and they were also close friends. Except Colossus shows that with him being tortured for so long, he wants revenge and votes against Storm and kills Colonel Lake with his bare hands. Before Storm can do anything about Colossus, that is when you have the Nimrods appear, and of course they are still being taken over by William Stryker, well, his conscience really, to kill all mutants. So of course the opening pages of chapter 5 are the mutants running for their lives, because the army of Nimrods is raining down bullets, killing mutants off left and right in the opening section. Storm can't believe that the Nimrods have gone to hostile, because she has no idea about what happened in New York with Stryker and the Nimrods. Also, she knows is that they were never really in a hostile state unless they had to. They were more of capturing mutants instead, which of course they are not doing that at the moment. This is where you have John Walker surprise everyone as he tells Storm to grab who she can, and he will lead them to safety by going into some hidden tunnels. Now remember, before this, Walker was kind of tiptoeing the line of should he like or dislike mutants, but with his conversation with Colonel Lake, it kind of helped him change his mind. Now Storm and Walker both are wondering why in the world Nimrods are going hostile for. Then we pick up with Valerie Cooper again, who tells us that all of the camps in Oklahoma, Arizona, New Mexico, and Nevada are being wiped out by the Nimrods, except they are not stopping when they hit the camps. Now they're hitting cities around the camps, even some big cities like Las Vegas and Phoenix as well. The National Guards are not going to fight back because they know they don't stand a chance against the Nimrods. All of this is leading up to Divided We Fall, United We Stand event we're going to begin covering next week. We finally pick up with Kitty Pryde, Johnny Storm, Bobby Drake, Rogue, Jimmy, and the rest of the mutants they had saved earlier in the last video, hiding out in the Murloc tunnels, where Johnny is watching the news report, where you have the president telling the whole nation about what is happening in the Southwest states, the ones being attacked by the Nimrods. Also remember that in our Ultimates video, Texas left and made their own country, but you have the president basically state that those states are on their own now, which means it is really Nimrod territory. To make things even worse, you have chapter 5 reveal that the Nimrods are making their own, well, they're making something very big. And the thing is, we are not going to find out until later books. But guys, I want you to remember this moment right here. Now, chapter 6 is the last issue Nick Spencer did on the X-Men, where he opens up with someone pulling up to a mental hospital. When you have a nurse trying to stop him, the nurse aged at such a fast rate he dies. It goes for the same for the people inside the hospital as well. They all grow old and die in a hurry. And the question is, who is this person and why he is here in a mental hospital? Now, the reason why this mysterious man came to this mental hospital is for one certain mutant who we have not seen in a long time. He sometimes flies under the radar in the main Marvel universe, but especially in Ultimate Marvel. That person is Alex Summers, the brother to Scott Summers, aka Cyclops. We see him talking to his brother Cyclops, where it seems he is not dead, but his mind playing a trick on him. Now really, what Cyclops talks to Havoc about at first is not important. It is what he says when our mysterious friend breaks into the room of Alex Summers to break him free, because our mysterious character can tell Alex is talking to the ghost of Scott Summers, and Scott is telling Alex he needs to go with the mysterious character. We skip over to Roxxon and we pick up with Layla Miller, who we have not seen since the Ultimate Doom trilogy, where she was part of this team full of geniuses. And we see her at a board meeting until she is pulled away to meet up with our mysterious character, where we see he has delivered Alex Summers to Roxxon. We learn the reason why is because he is one of the 4 people they need for something called the White Room. Now, I could sit here and explain the White Room in the main Marvel universe, but not going to do that. But they need 4 mutants. Alex is one of them, and they talk about Colossus being another one. They said they know the third and they have to go to Tien for that one, but they have no idea who the 4th one is, and that is the big question. This is where we learn that the mysterious person in this last chapter is actually Mr. Sinister. Remember, we saw him last time in Ultimate Doom, but it was after his body was transformed into Apocalypse. Then Jean Grey used her Phoenix powers to change reality into a better world. It did seem like in Ultimate Doom, he was better than he was before, except once again, he is back in the picture trying to work for Apocalypse. And the question is now, what are they planning to do this time? And this is where we're going to end today's video. So please hit that like button down below and also subscribe to the channel for more content to come in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books I should read, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know. Your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But I'll see y'all next time. Later.